Hi, this is Kent Vaughn with Blaze Performance Solutions, and I want to talk about goals today, specifically simplifying, and what I mean by that is really limiting the number of goals you focus on. If you've got 10 different goals that everyone's focusing on, the probability of success, there is no probability of success. They'll do a little, but with excellence, probably not. In fact, it's not going to happen. So why are you even talking about it? Why do we choose 10 goals? It's because, well, we're not really sure what's going to stick and what's going to work. And so we do a little this and a little that. And, it's a little like going to the buffet. You eat a little this, a little that, a little that, a little this, and you've eaten 10,000 calories. Who can afford that in this day and age? But being very specific, having a maniacal focus on one or two goals you're going to focus on. Maybe 3 goals, but a limited number of goals. The probability of success increases exponentially when people know that, hey, this is the one thing we're really going after this year. Now, let me give you an example of a client of ours. They wanted to grow their revenue from X amount of $1 million to X amount of $1 million. It was about a $30 million increase in growth in revenue. So they want to grow from about $86 million to $116 million that year. And so about a $30 million increase. Pretty significant increase for them. And they decided they were going to do that in 3 ways. Number 1, they're going to focus on new sales. The goal was that every single sales rep would acquire 1 new customer every single month. Every rep, 1 new customer every month. That's 12 in the year. That was one lever. Another lever was they were going to improve retention of the current customers by applying the 5 levers of customer loyalty. They were reading a book by Jeb Blunt, Why Customers Love You, and there are 5 levers of loyalty. And so by applying those every single day with every single customer, those 5 levers of loyalty, they believed that they could improve retention of current customers and not have so many leave. And number 3, they need to decrease turnover of their hourly employees from 90% to 50%. That's a pretty significant amount of turnover, and yet there are lots of organizations we deal with today who have turnover of over 100%, some 150%. Now, this is a manual labor job, and so there was pretty high turnover, but they said, hey, we're going to focus on by treating employees better, by meeting with them weekly, by making sure their pay discrepancies are fixed within 24 hours, by doing some very specific things. They felt like they could decrease turnover of their employees. And you know what? They had some phenomenal success as they did those 3 things. If I was in sales, I knew that my goal was to get a new customer every month. If I was in sales or customer service or operations, I knew that I needed to apply the 5 levers of loyalty in every single customer interaction to make sure that we would retain the customers we had. And if I was a manager leading a team of people out doing the work, there were some specific things I was going to do to make sure these employees had a better experience with our organization and didn't leave. Now we've got something to work with. I know what the ABCs are in my job, and we're going to hold everybody accountable on those things. And the success is almost assured. So, what is your organization's maniacal focus? What is the one thing that you've got to get done this year? Maybe 2. For them, it was one overarching goal of growing revenue with 3 sub-goals under that. If you can't put your hands on that very easily, if people can't recite back very easily at any moment's notice what the goal is and what their piece of it is, you don't have a goal. You got a dream, you got a wish, you got a hope, but you don't have a goal. So I'd ask you to think about it. As you think about your goals and simplifying them, what is your maniacal process or maniacal focus this year? And what's the process for getting those things done? You may not understand the specific activities or behaviors yet, but there are people who do know, but make sure that you're having them do that with 1 or 2 goals, not what we tend to see in organizations, a dozen or more. About 16, 17 years ago, we started working with a client of ours that was doing some leadership work with us, some people development work with us, and they heard that we'd begun an execution process. And as I met with the leadership team, I learned about the Big 12. The Big 12 were the 12 goals that they focused on year in and year out to improve. And as we met with them the first time, I had the CFO and some other leaders in the room. And I said, well, how are you doing on those? And they said, well, we're doing okay. I said, well, that's your problem. You got 12 goals, Big 12. What's the probability of moving the needle on all of those consistently? Maybe even any of those consistently. You've got people doing lots of things, but you're not really moving the needle. And they said, yeah, they kind of laughed. Maybe that's why every quarter we're kind of praying the numbers in, hoping they come in, because we've just got too many goals to work on. Again, what is your maniacal focus going to be this year? Have a great day. It's Kent Vaughn with Blaze Performance Solutions.